to start the meeting of the Sheffield Selectboard. We'll thank CDSB for the wonderful job they do. And we'll start off with a moment of silence for Bruce Carty, who was Sheffield's longtime moderator or constable.
I'm about to get done.
He recently passed. Okay, first thing on the agenda is approval of minutes, which we have none tonight, so we will move on to announcement and information regarding roadside cleanup. Ron, do we have?
Sure. So we expected to see Jenny Russell, but she had a few issues that prevented her from being here tonight. So Jenny is scheduling the Sheffield roadside cleanup along with Leo Chamberlain for Ashley Falls. So the date is April 20th from 9 to 1. April 21st will be the rain date. If you want to do trash cleanup at Ashley Falls, you can meet at the Village Green at 9 a.m. For Sheffield residents, people can go to 98 Berkshire School Road beginning at 9 a.m. on those dates to pick up bags. And people should bring their own gloves. And once a bag is full, you can just tie it off and leave it safely off the roadside and the highway to pick it up the next one.
Excellent. Okay, discussion action regarding electric vehicle charging stations.
Well, I'm back again because I sent our two people who had made proposals to the decision of the board at the last meeting and said, any other ideas? And one of them had another idea. And that was that they said that they had just received what's called a destination partner. And then, of course, an agreement goes with it where a separate company buys and owns and operates the electrical vehicle charging station. So it's totally under somebody else's control. Now, this contract, obviously, I've only read it, and they had just made this alliance. And this is a contract that has been written for a commercial account, not a municipal account. So I don't know how much they would be interested in tailoring it to a municipality, but personally, I think they might be interested, given that I'm not sure the only municipality who says, we can't afford this, or this is not where we want to put our money. So part of this, without going over the whole details, is that there is a 5% rebate. So based on what the utility charges are that they make over the cost of the base utility, they rebate 5% of that to the town. I believe it's quarterly, so there is something that comes back to the town. Of course, if there's no money made, there's nothing coming back. This is a present 15-year commitment with the option for another 15-year commitment. So before I did any work on this, other than just read it, I wanted to know if there was any interest. Last time is we don't want to pay any money, and we don't want to have any ongoing charge. Let me rephrase that. There's better things for us to spend our money on. Okay, that sounded a little bit too harsh, and we don't want ongoing expenses that we cannot predict. So I think this solves both of those problems. But before I go any further, I want to know if the board is interested, and if we can come up with a decent agreement. We would have to have legal involved, but I think I can do some work with them before that. Would we want to potentially proceed? No guarantees, but I don't want to do the work if there's a 25% chance, to be honest.
So I'm trying to understand, a commercial partner would purchase the equipment and it would be installed on town property?
Yes. It's not a commercial partner. It is a commercial owner. Okay. Think of it as someone, at least in my analogy, what I came up with is that there are solar fields that put solar installations or wind turbines on commercially owned property, municipally owned property, they get something out of
Yeah,
it.
yeah. They're getting the credits or whatever.
And the town gets something out of it.
Yeah.
This would be not the dual station times 2 support. This will be back to just the 2 ports per station, one here at Jump Hall and one at the library.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested if it isn't going to cost us town money.
Right. And
It works.
it's okay for a municipality, I assume, to install.
Well, that's
Yeah,
It's
what
going to have to be found out.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's subject to annual appropriation. There's a few things that I would want to get questions for, so
Yeah.
that, I just wouldn't want to throw this over the fence to legal and say, have at it, if you
Yeah.
have the cost too much.
Yeah, no, I think it's worth
I
investigating.
want to work on my own.
Yeah, I think it's worth investigating for sure.
Okay, thank you, I'll do that.
Notice of proposed acquisitions, Cooper Hill, Allen, and Silver Street.
Issues on.
That's.
So, are you opening the separate comments or?
Yes. Yes.
These are both APRs, and they're taking a fair amount of land between the two of them. But I've also heard a lot of comments from people who know what's going on at the State House, that the State House has legislation to, if it were to pass, basically preempt town control over land for use for green energy projects, which could include wind turbines, could include solar property. I think the thought of Pine Island with Cooper Hill and also the situation on Bowell, I can support both of these, also in part because I think we may be losing our individual right as citizens to control the use of open spaces if this legislation passes. So I would make a motion to approve both of these and waive the 120-day period.
Well, I think we need to make sure that it's properly presented with of the town of Sheffield.
Not.
That's a very odd statement.
Yeah.
As to why it's coming from the town of Richmond, but other than that, I don't like
Yeah, I think it's a form letter, and we just didn't make the correction correctly. But I would second that motion.
So, maybe why don't I amend my motion to make sure the paperwork's in order?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any further discussion?
Anybody in the public? Is Kevin?
Anybody in the public want to speak?
Just here to answer any questions if you have any. These are standard EPRs, they're stating in climate ownership, space, and agriculture. So standard EPR.
What is it? I forget, to clarify what, yeah, what is it? We missed over here, I think. Can't hear.
Yeah, I can. Kathy.
Is this? Okay. Kathy Orlando of Sheffield Land Trust. These are 2 agricultural preservation restrictions. One on Cooper Hill Farm, up on Cooper Hill Road and Silver Street.
Where Arabi's going to be.
Where Arabi's, yeah, we've been for 25 years. And then the other is acreage on Bowell Road, just where...
Was it the car of Vallow Devers?
Yes.
Yes. From Lazarus.
Yes. Yep.
What are you doing? I didn't.
So these are agricultural preservation restrictions, and so the landowners, the farmers, applied to the state of Massachusetts to be able to have the development rights purchased. And so this will ensure that the property always remains in agriculture.
Okay.
And if it gets sold to a farmer at its agricultural value. So it makes sure that we're maintaining our agricultural base because as you know, it's really difficult for farmers to be able to compete with
I
non-farmers.
understand that.
Yeah.
Confused me was I couldn't even figure out, it looks like the town was trying to acquire.
Well, no, it's the weird way that the state acquires, that they're acquiring an agricultural preservation restriction, not the land itself.
Right, so this is so positive, that's
Yes.
why
Yes.
I feel that's the way it could be delivered as we're sitting over here, like, I'm glad that you spoke up. We can't shut up.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kathy.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's weird. I'm sorry that the state messed up the paperwork. That's a little odd. I will also mention that to them.
So somebody hadn't had their coffee that morning.
There you go.
So any further discussion? Any more comments? Okay, everyone in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? All right. Discussion action regarding PEG funds to CPSB. Well,
So each year we receive PEG funding, and it is deposited into our account. We had, at the last town meeting, a special account set up for that. And we have never sent what came in last year over to CPSB, so it's around $300. So I'm looking for permission to do that today, and to also let you know that just the other day we received this year's, which is right around the same amount. So I would be looking to send both of them if we could. We may have to wait a little bit before we send the new one, though.
In order to make it clear for our viewers, could you tell me what PEG stands for?
I can, it's okay, but. I knew it had to do with the channels, but I don't know what the P.
Public education government, I'm guessing.
So with the channel, you guys listening.
So I'll make a motion, we approve and give Rhonda the authority to move the PEG funds out of the stabilization fund to CTS.
A second.
any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Discussion and action regarding letter of support for the USDA grant application.
So you've seen this a little bit, I just added some more meat to hopefully make it a little bit more impressive to the reader at the USDA. Since you're just seeing this, if people want to just get their comments to Rhonda and then Rhonda back to me, that's fine, I don't want to force
I'll
them.
make a motion, we approve the letter, subject to any changes we find when we peruse it.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? It looks fine to me, I spoke. All those in favor? Aye. Discussion and possible action regarding midday alcohol license.
So this is a follow-up to our working meeting last week when we discussed having to set some rules or parameters for one-day alcohol licenses. And there were some questions that needed to go to the insurance carrier, which I had not been able to connect with our contact person. So I will work on that this week and get those answers before we have this discussion.
I guess we'll table that.
Excellent. Okay, board commission recognition. So, basically, we'd like to thank all our boards for the great work that they do, and all our volunteers, that we're very appreciative of what they do, and encourage anybody that still hasn't or would like to be on an additional board to please come and join us. The town doesn't run without all the support of our residents and volunteers, and we're very appreciative of it. I don't know, do you want to add anything?
I would just like to add, if you've never served on a town board, there's a very extensive list covering anything you could possibly be interested in. And you can contact the town administrator, should be happy to forward you a list of all the opportunities, and we always can use new volunteers.
Just get out, this town does not function without volunteers. Sometimes people are critical of those who do volunteer. Such as our general elections that are coming up, there's no contest. Thank goodness, one person in each of those open positions stepped up. It can take less time than people may imagine, and it may take more time. Some of these boards are intense at times, but we really need people to represent our community, and that's all ages. I'm really concerned that our younger residents try to find time to make time to be on these boards and become even more a part of our community. So thank you to everyone.
It isn't always easy, but it is very rewarding, and we're very appreciative.
And
So
you learn a lot. You learn a lot
you do
themselves.
sound board member items.
I don't have anything, Bob.
Renee?
Just two things. I just wanted, it's April 1st, and how fast did time go? And in a month, we will be having our town meeting, the first Monday at 6 p.m. And then the next Monday, we will be having our town elections. So I'm really hoping that people are going to mark their calendars and come out. At our special town meeting, we had, 90-something? And they made a very good decision, but it was a very small percentage of our town residents who actually made that decision, for which we thank them. The other thing, I don't know if anyone has had a chance to see, but our Sheffield Library Director, Dina Caswell, was recently honored in an article in The Edge as being selected from Massachusetts to represent Massachusetts at a national forum to plan programming around the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, which I think is really quite an honor. So kudos to Dina on that. That's it for me.
Lisa, thank you. Rhonda?
And thank you.
Good. Now, KK, I jumped ahead here. Sorry, public comment. Sorry, just a little ahead of myself here. Do we have any public comments tonight? We didn't wait.
Correct.
I'll make a motion for adjournment, though.
And I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Rex?